السميع العليم من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، وصلى الله وسلم على سيدنا ونبينا محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين. اللهم صل على محمد وآله. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make this a blessed evening for all of us, Layla Jum'ah Mubarak, inshallah, and allow us to be amongst those who take advantage of the opportunity of this Eve of Friday to seek forgiveness for ourselves as well as for our loved ones, especially those who have been deceased and have departed our temporary world. Inshallah, we'll remember them, seeking forgiveness for them and acts of charity to the best of our ability, inshallah, tonight and tomorrow, Laylatul Jum'ah, and the day of Friday. It's evening and it's day. Continuing on reflections on the dua from Imam Zayn al-Abidin alayhi salam, dua Makarim al-Akhlaq, which is a supplication that summarizes some of the highest levels of Islamic ethics or ethics and morality in general, and the Imam refers to it as Makarim al-Akhlaq, or it's referred to as Makarim al-Akhlaq because of the amount of honorable level of ethics and morality that has been shared in this dua. We started the first section of the dua regarding strengthening our faith and purifying our intentions to make it amongst the best types of intentions, or the best kinds of intentions and the best kinds of deeds. This is very important, especially to understand that the most important and the highest level of ethics and morality is our relationship with God. Our ethics and morality has to do with every relationship that we have, or every interaction we have with the world around us, and most significantly recognizing God and His creation, and recognizing His omnipotence and the fact that everything is in His hands. Therefore, number one, have good level of faith and purified intentions, sincerity for His basically doing things only for Him, to basically make our intentions sincere and purify them to the highest levels. The next part of the dua, where we reached at the level وَاسْتَعْمِلْنِي بِمَا تَسْأَلُنِي غَدًا عَنْهِ. Make sure, Ya Allah, we ask you, O God, that you use my life, you allow me to use my life for what you will be asking me about tomorrow, rather than getting busy with things, or occupying our minds at least with things that will depart this world and part with, things that we will never reunite with. Your home that you spend most of your life paying off, making, beautifying, making it, your sanctuary and so on, you will one day part with, and you will never reunite with it. This is it. We have one, basically it's a station that we go through in this life, in this material life, and once we depart, nothing in this world we will reunite with. The only things that we will be with and we will reunite with are our deeds, good or bad. It will stay with us. And secondly, people, other individuals who God has created and we have a responsibility towards. Therefore, he says, use me for what you will ask me, rather than things that I will never be concerned with, or once we depart this world, or once one is on their deathbed, when sakaratul maut come, the moments of death, none of this world would matter. Nothing in this world would matter. Yes, some may be concerned about their children. These are souls that we owe a responsibility towards. We owe them something. We have to give them their rights, what is dutiful, what is our duty to them. We have to be dutiful to them, to people around us, our neighbors, our parents, individuals, humans. This, yes. But in terms of wealth, what would it matter? Whether you lost at that moment, whether you lost or gained an extra million or billion or trillion, what would it matter? How would it matter? وأغنني واستفرغ أيامي فيما خلقتني له وأغنني. This is the part we reached at. وأوسع علي في رزقك ولا تفتني بالنظر وأعزني ولا تبتليني or تبتليني بالكبر. وأغنني, the Imam says, oh Allah, make me sufficient, give me sufficiency. Ghina is to be needless of anyone or anything. One application of ghina is basically oftentimes it is translated as being rich. It is not the accurate translation, because perhaps in the English language, rich is basically not, it has nothing to do with needing or not needing. It's a term to describe someone who has a lot of wealth. Whereas in Arabic, ghani is one who is needless, does not need others. One of the most beautiful things that one could have in this world is not to need other people. In any sense, whether it be financially, to be independent of others, or even in terms of physical ability. This is why part of good akhlaq of a Muslim, of a believer, is that they don't put their weight on other people. You know, some people, they sit down and they ask others to get them this, do this for me, do that for me, bossing everybody around. Some may be doing it to their spouse. You know, nowadays it may be either way. We used to say, in the past we used to say the husband doing it to the wife. Now it could be the other way around. We have the other examples as well. Regardless, people who put their weights on other people's shoulder, their weight, and basically they burden other people. Islam teaches us not to be like that, to be independent in every sense. Some of our greatest scholars, and I've lived with some of them, and I've been in that situation where he may need some water, for example, or they put food and they didn't bring his spoon or something. He gets up, starts walking to get it, and everybody's asking, what do you need? It's okay, I've got it. And he walks and gets it. At that level, an elderly individual, a great scholar, this was the way they were. As long as God has given me the health, I am independent. وَأَغْنِنِي. Make me independent, needless of others. One of it is, one example of independence is financial independence, which is important. So the Imam says, وَأَغْنِنِي وَلَا تَبْتَلِنِي وَأَغْنِنِي وَأَوْسَعْ عَلَيَّ فِي رِزْقِكَ وَلَا تَفْتِنِّي بِالنَّظَرِ. Make your sustenance and what you provide for me abundant. It's easier to have abundance, in fact, especially for one who wants to be godly, who wants to do good things. They're able, they'll help people. They're able, they will give in charities and so on. they will make the life of their children, wife and children, or spouse and children comfortable. All of this is actually good. Making the life of your family members comfortable is good. This is part of at-tawsi'a ala al-'iyal, is part of our responsibility to the best of our ability, and one should ask for it. وَأَوْسَعْ عَلَيَّ فِي رِزْقِكَ وَلَا تَفْتَنِّي بِالنَّظَرِ. Do not, this fitna is where one is trialed or tested with something. And sometimes when one slips into some bad path, the Imam says, or teaching us to say, that not to be in a position where I am looking. Now what is this another? One meaning of it is that one has and yet asking for more. Okay, from waiting. Another as to wait for something, intidar, to have expectations. In other words, ingratitude, to be ungrateful. This is one of the meanings. Another one is that one looks at what others have. In Farsi we call it cheshmam cheshmi. Like you look at what others have and one has enough. And this is one of the diseases in materialistic societies and consumerist societies. One has what they need. You need a set of sofas and couches that you want to sit on, you have it. You need some furniture or whatever, you have it. Next thing is you see someone got new furniture. What do we do next? We have to get new furniture now. Because now this is outdated, people are getting the new ones, I have to get the new ones. Why? If there's a problem, okay. But just for the sake of it, okay, it's old now. This is a disease in my view. In my humble opinion, this is a disease of materialism, disease of consumerism. And it is a result of trying to fill gaps because one does not have spirituality. One who gives for the sake of God will find so much more pleasure in giving for the sake of God that they wouldn't feel the need to keep on, getting things to make themselves excited. They call it shopping therapy. That's for people who don't have God. That's for people who don't have charitable causes that they could give. They need that kind of therapy. The best therapy is to go in the hadith we have. If you're feeling unwell, visit the cemetery. Visit the sick ones in the hospital. You're feeling down, go and visit the sick ones in the hospital. Give charity. That is the best way one could feel better. I've shared it with mu'mineen and mu'minat. There's nothing that could compare, nothing that you could spend $1 for yourself that could compare with giving that same dollar in charity. Nothing. $100, $1,000, whatever amount you think of, you give it in a charitable cause versus you use it for yourself. Something that you use, consume, waste, whatever. Nothing at all you could do that would give you more pleasure than giving for the sake of God. Nothing. You ask people who have, or you try it yourself. Give for the sake of God an amount of money, then try and find that, the something else that you could spend that money on that would give you the same pleasure. You will not find. If you really purify your heart and give it for the sake of God, you will find that nothing else would give you as much pleasure. Therefore, don't make me look at what others have and start having then jealousy. The reason why it is jealousy is referred to in Arabic as the eye. That jinxing with the evil eye, they often refer to it, is because it's looking. You look, if you didn't see, you wouldn't be jealous of. You see it, then you want the same. Then if you can't afford the same, the next disease is hasad. You can't afford the same, you wish they didn't have it. Okay, and that all of these we can rid our minds and hearts from by simply not looking at others and thanking God for what we already have been given, and that is where we are grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the result of that is anything that He's given us we enjoy more and He gives us more. وَإِذْ تَأَذَّنَ رَبُّكُمْ لَإِنْ شَكَرْتُمْ لَأَزِيدَنَّكُمْ. And God forbid, if we're ungrateful, it turns into a curse, punishment. إِنَّ عَذَابِي لَشَدِيدٌ. وَأَعِزَّنِي, last line, وَأَعِزَّنِي وَلَا تَبْتَلِيَنِّي بِالْكِبْرِ. It is good to have a good name. Izzah is about having might, a good name, a good fame, good reputation. Ya Allah, give me that. Izzah is good. Some may translate it as exalted. To have a good name in the eyes of people, for the people to look, basically think highly of you. That is Aziz. Okay, one who has Izzah. The Imam is saying, give me that with a condition. Give me that. But don't make me have arrogance. Don't allow me to have arrogance. وَلَا تَبْتَلِيَنِّي بِالْكِبْرِ. It's good to have a good reputation, but never to have arrogance. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to purify our hearts and minds from arrogance, to make us sufficient from anyone and anything other than Him. We ask Him to make us amongst those who listen to what's said and follow what's best. Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wa sallallahu wa sallam ala Sayyidina wa Nabiyyina Muhammadin wa alihi at-tayyibin at-tahirin.